and clutching a small and hideous sculpture of a beastie. Enion would never know the significance of the ornamental statue, other than to understand that Annis and her lover had shared some secret jest, and Livingston had commissioned the thing to amuse her. The ornament was ugly, cast in gold, with eyes and mouth made of rubies so that it looked to be screaming, and a tail, braided and interspersed with rubies, that wrapped around its clawed feet. On the eve of Kenneth's hanging, Annis called Enion to her. She was holding in her lap something wrapped in cloth. Slowly she peeled away the cloth to reveal an emerald the size of a goose egg. It was a gift from her mother, she said, the only thing of value she had managed to keep from Ewan in all the years they had been married. Annis wrapped the emerald again, and speaking low and quickly, implored Enion to help her. She pressed the wrapped emerald into Enion's hands, then the ugly beastie, and begged that she take them to her brother, the blacksmith, and beseech him to seal the emerald in the statue's belly for safekeeping. It was, she explained tearfully, her last but most important gift to her daughter Margaret. Enion could not refuse a condemned woman her request. When the deed was done, she returned to the tower, just in time to watch the crowds gather for the hanging of Kenneth Livingston. She joined her mistress on the battlements around her tower prison and stood, terrified, as Kenneth was led onto the scaffolding. Annis, unwilling to let Ewan see her fear, cackled like a madwoman. Then Kenneth looked up, saw Annis standing there, and Annis grabbed Enion's hand, her fingernails digging deep, as they watched the executioner wrap the noose around Kenneth's neck. And as the executioner stepped away, Annis leaned over the battlements so far that Enion feared she might fall, and screamed, "Forrig to me! Wait for me." The executioner pulled the rope. Kenneth's fall was quick, as was the break of his neck, and he hung, limp, his suddenly lifeless eyes staring blankly at the roaring crowd gathered before him. Annis let go of Enion's hand and fell back against the stone wall of the battlement, her body as limp as her lover's. Later, she asked for the statue and her daughter Margaret, who was just a girl. "Heed me, lass," she whispered when Margaret was brought to her chamber. "See this I give you," she said, taking the statue from Enion, "and promise me you'll guard it with your very life." When Margaret did not answer right away, Annis shook her. "Do you hear me, Maggie?" she insisted. "This that I give you is more valuable than all the king's jewels. When the time comes and you fall in love, but your father gives you no hope for it, then you look in the belly of this beastie. Do you ken?" Margaret glanced fearfully at the awful little thing and nodded. The next morning, as her husband and her two oldest sons looked on impassively, Annis knelt before the executioner's block. In one mean strike of the sword, Annis was sent to meet her lover. As little Margaret grew older, the times grew more turbulent. The Earl William died by the king's own hand, and suddenly the nation was plunged into a bitter clan war. Douglas warred with Douglas and with Stuart. All alliances were suddenly suspect. Indeed, the three youngest Lockhart sons took issue with their father and their two older brothers, and made their allegiance known to the Stuarts. In the midst of that bloody clan warfare, Margaret, now 15, fell in love with Rappert of Stirling, who pledged his allegiance to the younger Lockharts. Margaret came to Enion to tell her that she had given the statue to Rappert for safekeeping, that they would flee to England with her brothers. She kissed Enion goodbye and slipped out into the night. Enion never saw the lass again, and in fact, it would be years before she would know that Rappert had been killed in the battle in Otterburn, and that the younger Lockharts had taken the beastie with them to England. The beastie, but not their sister Maggie, who was left behind with a broken heart and put away in a convent by her father, where she would die a year later by her own hand. Enion would live for many years afterward to tell the story of the Lady of Lockhart. Yet, over time, her memory would fade, and she would forget the very small details. By the end of her blessedly long life, the tale of the Lady of Lockhart had come to be known as the...
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.